Well, hello, and how are you doing this evening? I am sitting here in my studio, in my comfortable chair, with a lovely backdrop, with my lovely Lola at my side. I'm just petting her head right now, if you can see that. You can't quite see it, but you know what I mean. Come here, sweetheart. Lola, come here. Come here. No? Do you want to sit up and say hello? Come here. She wants to join. Come here. If you've not had the pleasure yet, you're about to see my lovely dog. Come here, Lola. Lola, come here. Hey. Oh, okay. I guess not. Lola. 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 Hey, hey, hey. Come here. There we go. She's a beautiful girl who has enhanced my life in more ways than I can ever tell you. I will never, ever be a parent. I will never have children. But with this adopted daughter of mine, if you will, for want of a better term, I think for the first time in my life, I may understand an inkling of what it's like to be a parent. I say that because I did not know I could love anything, anyone, the way I love her. And I think it's probably close to the love a parent has for a child. It's not like a spousal love. That's different. This is just joy and happiness and love on four legs. This little girl who came into my life last March by happenstance. She was never supposed to be mine, and now she is. And I will do the best I can to make sure that she has the best life possible. She spent most of it before I got her in and out of shelter. And today, I had a feeling that she's probably been hit and beat before. Because she was acting up, and I didn't yell at her. I didn't raise my voice. When I walk her, I have a double leash. So one is clipped to her back because she has a body harness, and one is clipped to her halty, which is like a thing that goes over her snout, similar to a bridle with a horse. And normally I pull on her back because I don't want to hurt her. But she kind of got out of line today and jumped at another dog who was a good 20 meters away. And I got upset and I said, "No, you don't do that. That's bad behavior." And this time I pulled back on her halty and she jumped backwards about a meter and cowered. And I went, oh my goodness. She's never done that with me before. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't raise my fist. I didn't raise my hand. Nothing like that. But she jumped backwards and cowered. And I'm like, oh, this poor little girl has had such a hard life before she became a part of mine. So she will forever and always be therapy for me, along with somebody that I can grant sanctuary for. I had a struggle for the word. I wanted to say solitude, but I knew that wasn't right. Sanctuary. She will always have a home in my house, and I will love her until the day she leaves me. And that is the difficult thing about having a dog, is they can do so much for your mental health and well-being until they go. And then it's like, oh boy. They can give you the greatest day of your life and also the worst at the same time, because they're only here for a short time. I'd like to think she'll be with me forever, but I know that's just not possible. So, yeah. She helps with Autumn, although I don't think she's an Autumn dog either, because her behavior in the last couple of days, when the temperature dropped a bit. One second here. Sorry, a little emotional there. The temperature has dropped here recently, and as a result, she's gotten a little bit wonky when we go out for a walk. Anyway, yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day. Productive. I did get quite a few things done today that I planned on. Tomorrow will be better. I have more. I'm working from home tomorrow. I had expected to be in the field tomorrow, but I'm going to be working from home so I can get caught up on a few other things. Pie to Guinness. And I do hope that from with working at home tomorrow, I can achieve some of the outstanding goals I had set for the weekend. That I just, well, I had some tight deadlines that got in the way of life things like laundry, which is something that always needs to be taken care of. And oh boy, do I have a lot of laundry to do. One of the things about working 80-hour work weeks is sometimes you don't have time to do laundry, so you just go out and buy more clothes. But I tend not to buy disposable clothes. I have shirts that are 20 years old that I still wear from time to time. And I don't throw things out until I absolutely have to. So the disadvantage of that is laundry days can go, well, for a weekend. I probably have about 14 loads of laundry to do. And 100% of that is just me alone. I don't have children. I don't have, 3 or 4 kids. And I have a partner, a wife, Bridget, but she does her laundry at her place. And once in a while she'll do a wash here. But all of the laundry I have to do over the next few days is mine. And boy, it's going to be a time-consuming function. Sorry, Lola just stepped out of the studio, so 1 second. So, tell me something. Is Mikhail in? Mikhail might be out in the lineup to vote somewhere. I don't see him. There's a few folks that normally I would see here on a Monday night, but they're probably in lineups to vote somewhere. One of the things, as I understand, and this is not political, this is just purely an observation, is that I believe a government, I don't know which one, state to state, I believe, passed laws where people are waiting in line to vote. You cannot bring them food or water while they're standing in line to vote, which is draconian and troublesome to say the least. Bringing somebody food or water while they're waiting to vote is not favoring the vote they're going to have. It's just like, here's some rice, here's some water, here's some chicken. Like, people wait for 8 hours in line. They got to eat. They got to use the toilet. They need to drink water. But I don't know. It's not my country. It's not my election. But to say that we're not concerned about it here in Canada would be a lie. We're anxious about it. One of the things I saw today, oftentimes you'll hear, let me turn that light off. Actually, this is kind of annoying. I was looking for it to, oh, hi, Lola. I was looking for it, come here, over here. I was looking for it to be like an accent light, and it's not. It's just an annoyance and a nuisance more than anything else. But it was free, so, One of the things I was reading online today from a voter in Boston, he says, oftentimes in a moment like this, people on either side of the fence, no matter who you're voting for, would say something to the effect of, I am cautiously optimistic. This gentleman's comment was apropos, and it brought a smile to me. He said, I am nauseously optimistic. And that's as political as I'll get. I know that many people are worried about what may take place tomorrow. I know that many people are on edge and anxious, that they are concerned perhaps things go very, very sideways and some sort of violence breaks out. I really, truly hope that is not the case. I hope cooler heads prevail. I hope there are enough people to realize that the democratic process is safe and protected. And your voting rights are your voting rights, and you are lawfully entitled to go and exercise that right without fear of cheating. And that's all I have to say about that. Hi, Elaine. How you doing? Hey, anti-corporatist. Mademoiselle Fox is in the chat. I'm just looking over here at the chat to see who's here. Oh, Jen. Hey, how you doing? Argosy. Is it Argosy or Argosy? You gotta let me know. Argosy? Argo, S-E-E? Or Argosy? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. So, yes, thank you, Elaine. Douglas, I think, reached out to Jake, too, so maybe we'll have something tomorrow evening. But I don't want to talk about that. That's not the place for this. This is not the place for that. This is about when we talk about our mental health, our anxiety, perhaps our OCD or ADHD, and how our minds can oftentimes take us into weird and strange places. I woke up this morning after several bizarre, super vivid, realistic dreams, which is one of the side effects of sertraline, which has brought me to the conclusion of the reason I want to consider microdosing magic mushrooms after consulting with my doctor. I'm not doing it until my doctor gives me a sign-off. 1 second, I need to fix something. I'll be right back. My apologies, there's some noise. I gotta go take care of it. I'll be right back. I'm terribly sorry about this. So terribly sorry about that. Tried to be as quick as possible. It's time for a new fridge in the old apartment. And the one that's here makes a lot of noise. Every now and then it just decides to whine. And it's very annoying because the mic, this is a studio mic, so it picks it up. I have a sound isolation booth and dampening booth, but it doesn't eliminate everything. So, let's have a sip of Guinness. Oh, that's so good. So, as I was trying to say a moment ago before I got interrupted by the sound of my refrigerator, times like this when we're feeling anxious, on edge, is when we really need to lean on one another. Some of us, myself, and I can't speak for others, but what helps me, truthfully, in all honesty, what helps me in times like this is when others lean on me. When I'm in a dark place, if somebody reaches out and says, dude, I'm really struggling, I'm like, oh. It's like I'm able to pull myself up, just literally grab myself by the scruff of the neck and pull myself up. And just say, okay, what's up? How can we fix this? What can I do? How can I help you? They're like, I just need you to sit with me. No problem. I can do that. And I'll say nothing until I'm spoken to. Because one of the things that I've noticed is when I'm in a dark place, for myself personally, friends will approach me and say, "Do you want to talk about it?" I'm like, "Nope, not now. Right now, I want to talk about anything but that. I need to escape from these thoughts. I need these thoughts out of my head because they're literally surrounding me right now, and all I hear in my own mind is my own voice screaming at me, saying terrible things. And I'm not going to share what the terrible things are. I think you know what they are, and I'm sure you've heard them too. So when that moment comes along, when somebody says, "Hey, you want to go for a coffee or a walk or sit in the park?" Or, "Yes. Do you want to go? Yes. Do you want? Yes. What's up? Bad place. Do you want to talk later?" Okay. Every single time, my friends have looked at me and said, "I get it. No problem. Okay." And then I'll reach out to them and say, "Thank you. Thank you for helping me get through that moment. I really do appreciate it because it was a tough time." And when that occurs, I need to escape from it by having a discussion about anything but what it's about. And afterwards, when the time is good, when I'm in a better space, in a better place, and I'm feeling better, I can then discuss it. And that works for me. I don't know if it'll work for you. I hope it would. Whatever gets you through the night. Although I have to be cautious when I say that. And the reason I say I have to be cautious is because whatever gets you through the night is sometimes too many of these or something else, which can lead to a habit, which can lead to bigger problems. And I certainly don't want that or wish that for anyone. If it's what you need to get you through today and the rest of the week, you're good. All right. I don't judge. I wouldn't judge anyway, no matter how. Oftentimes, people will turn to drugs or alcohol or sex or thrill, like the adrenaline junkies who need to, skydive or squirrel suit or ice kayak, dangerous things to give them that adrenaline rush they need to get over the next day or the next week or the next month or the next hump, whatever the case may be. We all try and fill our lives with things to make up for something else. What is that something else? Well, it varies from person to person. Sometimes it could be something like a trauma. Could be something painful. It could be something that in your past has harmed you, has caused you pain, has caused you harm. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix something on my console here. I'm having an issue. Oh, there it is. Is that it? Oh, there's an issue with my... Terribly sorry here. Oh, I think there it is. Yeah, that's it. And there we go. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Terribly sorry about that. Had some things that needed to be repaired from something the other day. So we all look for a reason to get away from our pain. Everybody has their own reason. How you get away from it is your way. But I hope that your way is not harmful to you in the long run. I hope that what you do to get away from your pain is not detrimental to your physical health and well-being. And remember, medication, alcohol, narcotics, adrenaline rush, seeking moments, none of those will fix the problem. They're not even a Band-Aid. They are a salve that goes on the wound, and it helps it feel a little bit better for a little while. But it doesn't repair the damage, it doesn't repair the wound, and it doesn't fix anything. It gets you through to the next day, sure. But eventually, if you are not paying attention, that wound could become gangrenous. And we all know what happens with that. And if you don't look it up, I'm not going to get into details. Had to clear my throat. Let me get a sip of the old Irish medicine, Guinness. You know this is technically a light beer. It's only 120 calories and it's 4.5% alcohol and it's high in iron. Doctors prescribed it to pregnant women. I'm not joking, for decades. And occasionally will say a pint of Guinness a day, 1 pint, isn't harmful. And actually, because it's high in iron, it will help you. But I'm not a doctor. So what do I know? Don't listen to me when it comes to medical advice. Talk to your doctor. Talk to an expert. Talk to a professional. Talk to somebody who went to med school, because I didn't. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm just a guy with some experience in this world. A few years older than some. And has been able to stay alive and stay healthy and keep his head above water for 44, going on 45 years of depression. Now, I was undiagnosed for a great many years, not knowing what was wrong with me. And then I, hid the anxiety for a little while longer until I was ready to talk about that. The ADHD was a new discovery, but it really brought into focus how my life was for so long. Why I could focus on a single subject for like 12 hours. And it was like, did you eat? No. Did you drink? No. Coffee. I had coffee. Water. I'll have water. Have you been to the toilet? No, but not soon. And you're doing the pee dance, but you're so focused on the subject at hand that you can't walk away from it. And when you do, the weird thing is it tends to throw you off balance. And then next thing you know, you find something else. And it will occupy so much of your thought process. It's like, I have to finish. It's like, dude, it's been 18 hours. Tomorrow's another day. Go home, get some rest. Okay, I'll do that. I'll go get some rest. And that's ADHD in many respects. And then there's other aspects where it's like you'll start a project. You get working on it, you're focused on it, and then it's like, I gotta go take care of this. And then you go do something else. Then you decide you make a sandwich for yourself. And then you make the best, biggest sandwich and clean all the dishes. And then go back to project one and go, oh crap, I forgot about that. Get started on that. And then an alarm goes off that reminds you that project number 2 needs to be attended to. And then there's moments where you can be sitting in a crowded place having a conversation with somebody and your phone will go off 9 times and you'll look at it 9 times and they're like, why are you ignoring me? I'm not ignoring you. I heard everything you said. I'm just checking this. But no, you don't understand. I'm capable of doing more than one thing at a time. My brain is capable of that. Over in the corner there, I'm looking at the score of the game. That's the football game over there. That's the hockey game over there. I just checked the 3 messages I got, and we're talking about this subject. It can be troublesome for those who do not understand it and do not have it. And I think I can understand how troublesome that must be to some people. And I've been in places where my phone will be in my pocket vibrating. I'm like, oh, I gotta check the message. But you don't do it because it's protocol doesn't allow for it, because it's a formal thing, or some professional meeting or whatever the case may be. Meanwhile, you're trying not to show how anxious you are about the 9 messages that you know have been showing up on your phone during the time being. And you're eventually going to go, excuse me, can I just take a break quickly? I need to go to oh yeah. You don't need the toilet. You just go to it. Just sit there to check all your messages. So they can put your mind at ease, because your mind is racing over, what if this is important? What if... And here's the weird part. It's not always like that. That's the weird part of ADHD. Some days you can just go, yeah, I'm going to just ignore everything. And I'm focusing in on what this person is saying. Yeah, I know, my phone has rang 16 times in the last 30 minutes, but I can get to it when I get to it. I'm focused in on what this person is saying right now. And that's ADHD in a nutshell. I've heard some people describe it to me as a superpower, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's not a superpower. It's a curse. Sure, it's given me advantages in certain respects, but it's also taken away from me when I'm presented with a task that I absolutely have no interest in whatsoever. I will leave it until the last 30 minutes of the deadline. It's going to take you 6 hours to do it. No, I can do it in 30 minutes. Don't worry. I know what this is. And I do. But the weird part is there's anxiety building up. It's like, oh, I got to get that. Oh, shit, I got 30 minutes. I got 30 minutes. I got to get it done. Got to get it done in 30 minutes. Oh, crap. What am I going to do if I don't get this done? I'll get it done. Don't worry. I told them I could get it done. They know I'm going to get it done. And I get it done. But it's not an easy way to live some days. Some days it can be very difficult. Some days it can be incredibly difficult. And to that, I hope you don't suffer. I hope that if you have to go through things like that, that you have a support network around you, and that your friends and coworkers and people that are in your life understand that you can't control your brain. Sure, you absolutely could take medication, and sometimes the medication works very well for some people. But how much medication do I need to take? Between sertraline, the vitamin C that, I take a cocktail of medication every morning. If I took ADHD meds, it would be even more. How much do I need to take? This is why I'm investigating the whole microdosing thing with mushrooms. Because all the reports I've read, and there's not a lot because they're just really starting to observe it now. But everyone I've spoken to who's gone down that pathway has said, oh my goodness, it rebooted my brain. I feel like a different person. I don't suffer anymore. I don't feel anxious. I don't feel alone. I don't feel abandoned. I don't feel despair. I was able to confront my childhood trauma head on in my mind and forgive myself. And there's certainly a part of me that is a little bit nervous about that, because, if I go down that road, what do I discover? There's entirely, and I don't think I'm unique in this. I know I'm not. I'm sure many of us would discover some trauma from our childhood that we didn't know existed, because we were able to blank it out, because the human mind will allow you to push pain away and aside and get it out. But the thing is, it's always there. Trauma is permanent, just like grief. It never, ever goes away. It sticks with you forever. Now, time, therapy, talking things out, it can improve it. Dr. Gabor Mate has been, I think, the leading psychotherapist when it comes to trauma and how to deal with it. An individual who I would both love to meet and have on the show sometime to discuss trauma and how to get over it. And the thing is, you don't actually really ever fully get over it, right? You don't. You just get around it. And eventually you smooth out it's a mountain that you have to climb over, and eventually you just wear the mountain down until you've almost got it perfectly flat. And then it's just a little speed bump in the road. How do you do that? I don't have the answer for you. We all are on our own journey when it comes to that. And I hope that wherever you are in this world and whenever you happen to be listening to this, is that you can find a way to get through and past and over your trauma and live the best life you can. And only you know what your best life is. To some people, it absolutely has to be the richest person on earth. I think a lot of us, the vast majority of us, it is simply, well, I already have enough. I don't need more of anything. Other than maybe friends. I could have more friends and more love in my life. And more joy. But I'm not always going to be pursuing things or money or positions of power because I have more than enough of that. I don't think we can ever have enough love. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean the love of a partner, a friend, a colleague, a doggo, family, nieces, nephews, grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc., etc. I don't think you can ever have enough of that. I think that is the one thing in your life that you will always be wanting more of. And that is, okay, Lola's just lying on my green screen. Okay, sweetheart. She's making funny noises now. Well, folks, thank you. Thank you for coming out tonight. I really do appreciate you. And if you know anybody else who needs to come and listen and share in the chat, or just observe the chat and listen to what I have to say, if you know of anybody who could benefit from this, please share if you could. Yes, the subscriber base is growing, and I'm grateful for that, but my plan with all of this is to help as many people as possible. That's always been my goal. I just want to help as many people as possible. So thank you. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. And I will be back soon. You take good care.